Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. It's the 1st of May, birthday of Leonardo Bonucci, birthday of my father, which is better. And then it's also a bank holiday in a lot of countries, so let's try to enjoy today. Let's try to relax as much as we can, because we are also entering the last month of Juventus 23-24. To be precise, we are entering the last 26 days of Juventus 23-24. And there are a few roads that we can take, but especially the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. What is the best one? Qualifying to Champions League, lifting a trophy in the air, the Coppa Italia, and then kicking off a revolution, starting from the bench, but also with some players. A revolution that we decide. Some people will be happy, some people will be angry with the decision that will be made, but at least it's a decision, a revolution that Juventus is taking. Or the worst case scenario. Out of the Champions League, and this time not because of the off-the-field, but because of ourselves. A third year without winning any trophy, which would be a drama in Casa Juve. And then, yes, kicking off a revolution, but this time a chaos revolution. Not because we have our destiny in our hands, not because we want to take decision, but because we will be obliged to accept decision by others, which would be a total drama. In today's video, we'll speak about what I expect about players in this last month, about Max Allegri coming back on the video of yesterday, just to precise one thing, and then the question, why Thiago Motta? So put a maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. 29,300 is that close, and then we go towards the end of the month, 30,000 Juventini on this channel towards the end of the season. I'm counting on you. You are master of my destiny, so I'm counting on you. Now we start. I just want to precise something. Don't believe that because there are 5 remaining games, it will go super fast. Don't believe in that. It will be long. It will be extremely long. Just imagine, final of Champions League, last minute. You are winning 1-0. Last minute of injury time, but it's the opponent that is pushing. That last minute is looking like an eternity. You know the feeling. Well, that month of May, it will look exactly the same. An eternity. Why? Because we are all there waiting to turn that page. And we know it's the last step. 5 games in that order. Roma, Salernitana, Atalanta in Coppa Italia, Bologna and Monza. We want to forget about 23-24. We really want to forget about it. But it will be long, with press conferences before the game, with post-game interviews, with bad result maybe, with the stress that will go higher and higher if we are not able to do what we need to do. So Roma, Salernitana, Atalanta, Bologna, Monza, that will tell us which plan we can activate. Because no way that I believe that Giuntoli is sitting there since 1 year now, waiting for Roma Juve, or Juve Salernitana, or Bologna or Monza to say, now I will start to work on different plans. What should I do with Max Allegri? Which player should I go for? No, he already worked, he already has his idea, he has already alternative plans, the best case, the worst case, and then something in the middle. But this game, they will tell us which plan we can activate. For example, I give you an example. Today I see Zirkzee in Gazzetta dello Sport. It is Milan-Juve, with Milan a bit advantage because they already took some advantage on Juve on that run. But then you read, it's a chase, it's a battle, it's a run of 60 million euro for the Dutchman. Inter is not there anymore, pay attention to Arsenal, but it's a fight of 60 million euro. Now, 60 million euro, impossible to think about. Is there a way? Yes, there is a way. If Juventus do some sacrifices. Can be Bremer, can be Huijsen Solé, can be Dusan Vlahovic, can be Federico Chiesa, can be whoever. Some will agree, some will not agree, but at least it's Juventus that decides to cash in sacrificing some player to bet on other players, like for example Zirkzee. And then you continue to read Gazzetta dello Sport and you see, but there is also a plan B. Morata is always there in the attention, in the sight of Juventus. Morata that has an agreement. If there are 50 million euros that are coming towards Atletico Madrid, he can go towards the team that he wants. And we know the black and white heart of Alvaro Morata, his family, everything. He dreams to finish his career with Juve. We know about that. But can you imagine sacrificing a Vlahovic and taking a Zirkzee? We can debate about that. Are we agreeing or not? But in a way, it can be a good decision. But sacrificing a Dusan Vlahovic for a Morata, It's a total different discussion. It's a total different debate. Should not even be a debate. Well, pay attention. Activate that first plan where you can be master of your destiny. Because if you don't, if you miss that qualification that will be played here in the month of May, you will be obliged not to add Morata, not to replace Morata with a Moiskin or Morata with a Milik, but to replace and to make from Morata your number one striker instead of Dusan Vlahovic. So pay attention. What am I expecting from the players in this month? Well, I'm starting with big players like Federico Chiesa. Because Federico Chiesa will play in Roma, and it will be the first time that Chiesa will play in Roma from the start. He already played there, where he had that big injury on the 9th of January, we all remember 2022. Well, 2 years and a half later, he will start again in l'Olimpico against Roma. How he entered against Milan gives me hope, fede, gives me really trust. I believe in it, that he can think about Juventus now until the end of the season, but also starting to prepare Euro 2024. I hope one thing, it's that all the players, all the people that are working at Juventus, they don't think about their future. It can be whoever, Weston McKennie, Adrien Rabiot, a Kostic that today we are reading, for example, that are some offers from Crystal Palace, etc., etc. Federico Chiesa that is maybe paying attention to be fit and ready at Euro. No. Think first about Juventus, the maximum. And it's easy, eh? You play 2 games at your level. The one of Roma, the one of Atalanta. And then you can rest, then you can think about the future. That's what I'm expecting from the players. 2 games to win, Roma and Atalanta. Then the rest, I don't care. Now, we continue because it's not over. Eh? Yesterday, we made a video about Max Allegri. 5 pros, 5 contra, 5 yes, 5 no, based on an article of Tuttosport. The goal of that video, because some people didn't understand, was not to convince people of why we need to keep Max. Or that the club is even thinking that it's a good idea to keep Max Allegri. That was absolutely not. But it was a video about the reflection that has been made in the past, because I'm convinced that the decision is already done. That we already know, not publicly yet, but that Max Allegri will not be the coach. But it was a reflection of 5 points why Max Allegri, 5 points no, and at the end, when you have that balance, you're looking, and the decision has been taken quite easily, I believe. Now, I have to say that yesterday the comments under that video were really fantastic. Thank you to taking the time to watch it, because it was an extremely long video, 26 minutes. People remained until the end. People commented. I saw a lot of constructive feedback from people that understood the video, that said, we agree on these points, but nevertheless we have to change. Some people said we have to keep. Some people said, no, we have to change. But there was something that really I want to underline. Some people that said, Beppe, look, the fact that in the 5 points pro Max, there were no points, no topics about really football, the way of playing, the value of the player, and all these kind of things, says a lot. And you're totally correct. And you're totally correct, guys. I come back on that. Huh? There was one point about adaptability, about formation, yes, but really purely football-wise, there was no point. Why? They were against Max in terms of football, the way of proposition, the way of playing, etc., etc. Now, if we are speaking purely about football, there is no doubt that a new project needs to kick off. No doubt. So why the name of Thiago Motta? And that's where we arrive in the name Thiago Motta that we are speaking about so much. Certainty that it will be Thiago Motta? No. I don't want to give false hope to people, you know it. Some people are still speaking about Antonio Conte. Some people are saying maybe Max can stay, whatever. So we have no certainty yet today, but we are going towards Thiago Motta. So if it is Thiago Motta, why Thiago Motta? If you're looking at purely this season, we have a disaster Juve, especially in that second round of Serie A, and you have a fantastic Bologna in the entirety of Serie A. Bologna is doing something incredible. Incredible. Yes, it's true. Bologna is 4th. Juventus is 3rd. But if you're looking at the value of the players, it's a world of difference. 490 million euro value of the players from Juve, 254 for Bologna. If you're looking at the salaries of the player, 126 for Juve, 28 for Bologna. What are we speaking about? Of course, Bologna is doing a miracle. Even if they finish 5th or 4th or under Juve, they did a miracle that was unthinkable before. Thanks to who? Thanks to the players, thanks to the coach, thanks to, the season where the stars are aligned and everything is going well. So credits. The season of Bologna is something that we can say, wow, we need to put respect on. But then you have the way of playing. Look at the way of playing that yesterday was not mentioned in the Pro Max. And we see that we have a big difference of way of playing in proposition of football. And that's why a lot of supporters are saying we need to go for Thiago Motta. Look at the differences between Juve and Bologna this season. Possession. Average possession Juve, 49%. Average possession Bologna, 58. It's a Bologna that is, I believe, in terms of the minutes that they keep the ball into their feet, they are only second to Napoli. It's a Bologna that wants to play, that is not giving the ball to the opponents, waiting and reacting. It's a Bologna that is acting, not reacting. That's a huge, big difference. Then, the way of building from the back, of starting something. You can see it with the distance of the shot of the goalkeeper, the pass of the goalkeeper. In average, the pass of the Juventus goalkeeper is 38 meters long, while the pass of the goalkeeper of Bologna is 33. So you see here, they play much shorter. They have an idea of starting to build from the back, something that, pay attention, I'm not the biggest fan of, if insisting doing it a la Brighton. But of course, you need to implement it as well. When you can, you need to. 134 times per 90 minutes, it's what Juventus is pressing. 157 for Bologna. You see, the huge, big pressing when they don't have the ball is huge. Pressing in the 90 minutes in the opposition half. 59 from Juve, 70 from Bologna. You see an aggressive team that doesn't wait that the team is building, is starting to come into their half, but it's a team that is aggressive and going towards the opponent to have the ball as soon as possible. How many times or how many passes do you need the opponents to do before we can break the line? Juventus, 13 passes. So the opponents are doing 13 passes before Juventus is stopping them. While Bologna, 10 passes to the opponents. Opponents, 10 passes, and then Bologna is breaking it. Much faster, much more pace, much more intensity, much more aggressivity. How much shots can Juventus do in the 5 minutes that they recuperated the ball? 2.4 shots per game, while Bologna 2.8. So from the moment that Bologna has the ball, they go much quicker there to be dangerous in front of the zone. And then the shots on target, 3.7 from Juve that are 9th, and 4.4 per game of Bologna that is 6th in that ranking of Serie A. There is only one stat that is in advantage of Juventus in all the stats that I just mentioned, is actually the dangerousity of the attempts. Juventus has a dangerousity of the attempt in offensive phase of 49.5, it's 4th in Serie A, where Bologna is 8th with 44. Why? Because Juventus, they are able, thanks to the fact that they are resting more, they are pressing less, etc., when they are there on top, they are more dangerous, they are a bit more lucid. Unfortunately, the problem is that we can't finish. While Bologna, with all the energy that they are spending to recuperate the ball, to press, etc., to build from further away, not going too much to counter-attack, well, they are a bit less dangerous in attack. And that's the thing. So you see the difference of way of playing. Why people, they also believe that Thiago Motta can be a coach, or Thiago Motta that did a fantastic season. Now, let's put everything on context. What are we comparing? We are comparing an end of cycle of Juventus coming from a total disaster, coming from a lot of doubts, coming from announced publicly a new objective, also being in a year 0, where the year 1 will be next year, and you are comparing with the best season of Bologna in the last 22 years. So of course Bologna will show better results. But if we are speaking about singularly only about football, you can see that the proposition of Bologna was much better, and you don't need all these stats to understand it, you can see it. But what we saw is also shown by all these stats. Stats are not the only thing in football, but they are showing a lot of things. And Juventini, they are waiting for it. They are waiting to build something on the field, to show something on the field. which is super important. Then, will Thiago Motta be the solution? Will be able to succeed also in a club like Juventus? That's a big question mark, but we can't know that from Thiago Motta. We can't know that from Antonio Conte. We can't know it from Zinedine Zidane or from Pep Guardiola. We don't know. But what we know is that this season it was not enough. It was not sufficient. And if some people want to, in terms of way of playing, it's not only this season. It's this season, it's the year before, and the year before, and even the year before. To be really transparent and honest. Then again, don't now start to be sure, to be convinced at 100% that it will be Thiago Motta. Thiago Motta, there are a lot of teams on him. Chelsea is also looking at him. Milan is looking at him. So pay attention. Don't dream too much. I think, personally, that's my opinion from what I know, that Thiago Motta will be the coach of Juve. That things are already agreed in a way, verbally, but that we are just waiting for that plan to be activated. And why are the papers giving you so much alternative, so much different plans? For a simple reason. Because we are at the end of the season. Scudetto is already gone to Inter. Milan is already qualifying to Champions League. There is the European Cups that they can speak about, but if they want to speak about Juve, they need to speak about a bit of chaos. If they want to speak about Milan, they need to be a bit of chaos, like they will also do for some players, for example. 2 days ago, we saw from Spain, reported by All Italy, that Jorginho already found an agreement with Juve. It was already signed and he will be the next Juve player. While yesterday evening, we see from David Ornstein that Arsenal gave him 1 year and he's about to sign and remaining another year at Arsenal. Like Goodmanson, one day yes, one day no, one day he's thinking about Premier League, one day he's thinking to remain in Italy. Guys, I tell you, there will be so much to talk about in that month of May, and that's why that month of May will be extremely, extremely, extremely long. About coaches, about players, about Max staying, Max not staying, about results. If we are not able to win against Roma, it will be a nightmare, I can already warn you. So again, after watching that video, continue to enjoy, continue to relax, because you will need it in a crazy month of May. My name is Giuseppe, I hope you enjoyed that video. Grazie, forza, Juve.